Hello, my name is Mix, and today I'd like to tell you about a Greek tragedy. Something from Homer's lost work, something from my own life, the most horrific, most saddening of stories. So, without further ado, allow us to begin. Monday, at 9 a.m., I got out of class. I got out of a nice little college lecture about some mathematics and bullshit. So I head over to Walmart to buy myself a CD to take away the edge of being bored as hell. And I see, right on the shelf, something amazing, something immaculate, something from my childhood, the Eminem album, Without Me. And I thought, this is it. I listened to this all the time on YouTube in middle school, and I thought I was the coolest fucker in the world. So I pick up this album. I pick it up, take it to the checkout counter, and I tell the wage cuck I want this, and I want it fucking now. And that bitch rings me up, and I take that shit, put it in my car's stereo, and I'm bopping, having a good time, until I realize the first of many tragedies within this story. I had failed to check for the parental advisory logo, and I realized in that moment I had purchased an Eminem album without any cursing. And that's like barbed wire being run down my fucking pee hole. That is the worst atrocity man has ever known. But it gets worse. It gets worse, let me tell you. I forgot the receipt, so I couldn't even return the fucking album. And after that, I'm just beaten. I'm sad. I am destroyed. This is a terrible day. But let me tell you, friends, it gets worse. It gets infinitely worse, because on the way home, I notice a cow has gotten out of its fence, and I have to sit there for like 10 minutes waiting for this fucker to cross, which usually would mean nothing, but I guarantee it'll have impact later on in the story. So I go home, and I just relax. I get sad, but I'm having just enough fun still that I start making this video, making some other video, making bullshit on bullshit on bullshit, just having a fun time. But then, a few days later, I return to that same spot on the way home where the cow once was, and I see a police officer, and I'm like, okay, well there's a police officer, I better go fucking slow. But alas, this was where the next of my folly came in. I saw, last second, a school bus. It extended its stop sign right as I was beside it, almost hitting my windshield, so I just tried to rush on, trying to get out of the way. But alas, it beeped to keep me aware. But even further, the tragedy goes worse. The police officer heard the beep, and so I got a ticket. My very first ticket, and it was just bullshit like this. I rounded that corner, there was no way to see that school bus, and yet, he was not understanding. He didn't understand my plight. I tried explaining to him about the Eminem CD from the other day, but he didn't understand. And so, with my tail between my legs, I understood one thing. I had to take this to court. That's the only way. That's the only possible foreseeable action, because otherwise, that's 5 strikes on my license. That's terrible. That's a tragedy. So yeah, now I'm paying a bunch of money in dumbass legal fees, which is, that's always fun. My week, got real in that situation. It was just, it went from like slightly annoyed about my car having a problem to this. And so all I could do was just drive home with my tail between my legs, and I had a late class that night, so I went back out. And after like that late class starts at 6 p.m., ends at 10 p.m., so it's late. And I get myself a nice Baja Blast from the Taco Bell across the street, and I go home, excited to drink this drink just to cool me off, just to make me happy, because if you don't know, Baja Blast is the greatest flavor of anything to ever come out of Earth. It is the most perfect thing in the world. With every sip of delicious Taco Bell's Baja Blast, I get a little bit more excited, and I'm not sponsored by them, I just love them. I would suck the Baja Blast out of Taco Bell's dick if they let me. It is the most delicious substance in existence. And I get home, and the first thing I do is I spill my fucking Baja Blast. It goes from on the counter to just off the counter the second I look away. And I didn't even get the fucking straw into the cup. I hadn't drunk it. I had saved it for when I get home because I didn't want to fuck up anything more in my car. I didn't want to do any more bullshit. And I spill the most perfect drink on the floor without taking a sip. And then I just mop it up, just sad as hell. That was the 3rd strike. That was terrible. That was the worst fucking thing possible. I couldn't stand this week now. I just wanted this shit to end. But it didn't. It didn't end there. There was even more bullshit. So, the next day was my last day of school that week. I drove myself home, had a nice time. Nothing wrong happened the next day. But the day after that, the Friday I had off, I went to the movies with my friends to watch the new Jackass. It was really fucking amazing. We all had a great time. Everybody enjoyed the movie. But the second I start driving home, I take that same stupid fucking road, and then this demon walks out in front of me and destroys my headlight and then disappears. I swerve towards the middle of the road to avoid this fucker, and they still just ran towards my headlight, bumped my car straight fucking up as if I had hit like a rock or something. And then I get home, have my dad drive out there and look for the car parts and stuff, and there's no animal, there's no blood. All there is my car parts stricken around the fucking road. What I hit was a demon. Like, several days later, there was no overturned mailbox, there was no overturned trash can, there was no dead animals, there was nothing. It was just there 1 second to fuck up my car, and then gone. And I mean, it really fucked up my car. It popped the fender off, it shattered my fucking lights. It shattered my fucking headlights, dude. It destroyed them. I didn't realize how badly it was. I thought I hit a cat because I thought I saw its like pointy little ears, and I was sad because I thought it was a cat. But now I realize it was a fucking demon because it doesn't exist anymore. It came out of hell just to fuck up my car and then disappeared. It was that fucking malicious. It was like, nah, this guy has to have one more tragedy this week. And now I've just decided I'm never driving the stupid cursed fucking road again. It is hell. There's always fucking cattle or dogs or demons or deer or police officers or fucking school buses on that fucking road. And you know what the worst part is? I rode that school bus whenever I was in high school, so I know that fucking bus driver. That bus driver would miss my stop every single time. And people on the bus had to scream at her to remember to drop me the fuck off or pick me the fuck up. And now, I'm starting to think, maybe she was the demon. Maybe she has it out for me. Maybe she knows something I don't. She wants to ruin my life before I can ruin it myself. She's an omen. Something belated, something monstrous, something that needs to be avoided. I need to stay far, far away from that fucking road, even though I live on it. So now I take like 10 minutes out of my way to drive home, trying to get to the other side of the fucking road I live on, just because of that hell, that stupid fucking bullshit on that road. It is so garbage. But yeah, no, in all actuality, this was a terrible fucking week. This is probably one of the worst weeks I've had in a while. Like, it was just constantly, like, getting put through the fucking ringer and then being told to, like, stand up for another round just to get punched fucking down again. But, it's over now, hopefully. Fucking knock on wood, like, please, let that shit be over. That is the main reason I, have not uploaded as frequently as I would have liked to. I want to get up to at least 2 videos a week, and that was like, nah, now all you have time to do is schoolwork and sleep. That's all you have shit to do. So, I'm trying to get back into it. Now that I have a bit more free time, now that I'm not fucking hitting demons on my way home from school, I'm gonna try. Alright, don't worry. I know there's not many of you yet, but I know deep in your hearts you want to hear more from me. You want to know more about my excursions. You want to hear more about my opinions. And for that, I cannot blame you. I understand what it must be like without me, without my constant prattling on every fucking video. So if you find yourself in a schizophrenic state, in a state of withdrawal, in a state of disarray without me, why don't you take your hand, place it on that nice little mouse, take it to the scroll bar, roll it all the way to the side, roll that scroll bar all the way down, and then you see that nice little red button? I know you can't read it. Me and your mom have talked about this before, but your illiteracy is causing us both problems. Why don't you take that mouse and press that subscribe button? And then, what's further, if you really, really love me, and if you really want to make sure me and your mom don't get a divorce, why don't you hit the notification button to prevent anything bad from happening to your family? If not, it's your fault, buddy. It's always your fault. Nah, for real though. I have been and will be Crucifix in the foreseeable future. So please, like and subscribe. And then, once you're done with that, why don't you take a nice little barbed wire dildo, run it up your pee hole, and then watch a couple more of my videos. I'm Crucifix. I love ya. Bye.